Yo guys, welcome back. Today we're going to react to 5 disturbing videos from people with I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know what I need. We're going to pronounce it. Background. Let's react to it, guys. The video is 24 minutes long, but I want to cut it in 10 minutes because I don't want to make the video too long. I know you guys don't want to see here for 20 or 40 minutes, so let's get into it. Let's waste no time.
Nowadays it seems every aspect of a person's life is recorded and either posted on social media or featured on a news channel. In this video we'll take a look at both pre and post footage of people who have committed heinous crimes, and some of the footage shows just how deceiving some people can be. So as always, hit those lights, sit back, and maybe not enjoy 5 personal video recordings of people with heinous backstories that makes for incredibly eerie viewings.
Let's do it.
Peter Madsen. Peter Madsen was born in Denmark in 1971. During his school years, he developed an interest in rocket fuel and developed and launched his first large rocket on March 3, 1986. Ultimately it crashed, but Madsen was hooked and continued to experiment and consult engineers. Despite having no formal education, he took courses in welding and engineering to learn about submarines. Many saw great potential in some of Madsen's inventions, and he gained financial support from people, organizations and enterprises who saw promise in him.
Wow.
Madsen went on to build 3 submarines, UC-1 Freya.
By the way, guys, if you like me doing this type of videos so you can actually relax and actually watch it, at home, just let me know.
UC-2 Cracker and UC-3 Nautilus. He also co-founded Copenhagen Subotials. Here is Madsen speaking in 2014 in an interview with Fabian Borgs at Copenhagen Subotials, in which he talks about his thoughts on von Braun, the pioneering German rocket scientist who invented the V2 rocket, the missiles the Nazis launched towards England in the final months of World War II.
Well, he means something to me. He means inspiration, and he is a complicated person to deal with because he started out working for the German military in the 1930s and 1940s, and we can be happy to say that he spent a lot of their money making pretty useless rockets that didn't make any difference for the German war effort, but that certainly made a huge difference for the development of spaceflight.
All seems pretty normal.
Fair enough.
However, less than 3 years after this interview, Peter Madsen killed a woman and dismembered her body in the most horrific way aboard one of his inventions. On August the 11th, 2017, Madsen was arrested after the sinking of UC-3 Nautilus and the disappearance of Kim Wall, a Swedish journalist who had last been seen alive aboard the submarine. Initially, Madsen claimed that Kim had disembarked the sub the night before the sinking. He later changed this statement, saying that Kim had died on board in an accident and that he had buried her body at sea.
Wow.
10 days later, a human torso washed up on the coast of Amager, which DNA tests concluded belonged to Kim.
Wow.
The torso had been stabbed multiple times to release accumulated gases that would cause it to float to the surface, and a piece of metal had been fastened to the body to ensure it sank.
Wow.
On August 25th, Madsen's charge was extended to improper handling of a corpse. During a hearing on September 5th, Madsen stated that Kim had been killed when he lost his grip on the submarine's hatch cover, which he was holding open for her, and it hit her on the head, causing her skull to fracture.
Oh.
This proved to be a lie when, on October 7th, 2017, Royal Danish Navy divers assisting the police found Kim's head, arms and legs, along with a knife and pieces of her clothing, in bags at the bottom of Kuer Bay.
Damn.
All were weighed down with bits of metal, and it was found there was no fracture to Kim's skull. After continually changing his story about how Kim died, Madsen was eventually charged and convicted of her murder, and indecent
So you're telling me he stabbed somebody for what reason?
handling of a corpse and sexual assault.
Wow.
He was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Damn.
On October 20th, 2020, a dramatic video was released showing Madsen being recaptured after he escaped from prison. Police discovered that he was in possession of a pistol-like object and was wearing a belt that could potentially contain explosives, although it was
Damn.
later determined it was a decoy. Trent Pascal. On October 21st, 2020, 48-year-old Trent Pascal from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who would do some weird shit. Just look at his face.
Posted a chilling video on YouTube in which he apologized to his children for killing their mother and his wife, 30-year-old Savannah.
I'm recording this
What the
because
fuck?
I want my daughter to know that I love you. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me. I love you too. I love you so much. I love you like you're my own.
Wow. You got
I
some
didn't
balls.
choose this. Your mom chose this. She's been cheating on me for a long time. There's an 18-year-old difference in her age.
Wow. Really? You really want to kill a woman for cheating on you? Because you couldn't handle it? Being a man and just moving on from the situation? So now you're making excuses on yourself to why you killed. See, this is the people I don't understand. You know what I mean? If the girl cheats on you, who gives a fuck, bro? It's over a billion of people in this fucking planet. You get another one, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous.
And
Now what's gonna happen? You go in jail for the rest of your life. You throw your life in jail.
I knew she
Throw
was
your
kinda
life
too
away.
young, but I didn't. She's been playing me for a fool. I told her not to mess with me, not to mess with my emotions. Don't play with me. I'm like, why me? My hair's a mess and I look horrible. Oh, sorry. Take these off. I'm so sorry. I don't have better words right now. I'm hurting so bad. I don't know what else to do anymore.
Just minutes before the video was posted, Trent
Damn. She's a little snack, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you had to kill the poor woman.
had ambushed his wife by hiding in a shower of their master bedroom, then
Wow.
jumping out and fatally shooting her twice in the stomach. Savannah's mother was also in the house at the time, but managed to escape and sought refuge with a neighbour who
Oh
called
my.
the police. After Trent fled the house, she went back in and found her daughter dying. Savannah was taken to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The police later caught up with Trent after he left a Walmart, and deputies tried to perform a traffic stop.
I don't wanna lie, but she's a snack. She's kind of sexy, you know what I mean? Like,
But Trent pulled out a pistol on them. A patrol sergeant shot him several times in the arm, leg and upper torso. He didn't suffer life-threatening injuries and was later arrested at the hospital and charged with murder. The chilling video and subsequent murder was a far cry from a few years previous, when both Savannah and Trent posted gushing posts about each other on social media. If you looked at Savannah's Facebook page, you would think the marriage was very happy. It also seems Trent painted an unfair portrayal of his wife in his post-murder video. In reality, Savannah was a good person who worked at a funeral home and was trying to raise money to help victims of domestic abuse.
wow.
It seemed her only fault was that she wanted to leave her husband, but he couldn't let her go alive.
Kill the poor innocent woman. I hope he gets jail.
Issei Sagwa, the Japanese celebrity
Oh,
cannibal.
hell no. This guy looks like he hate. No one like this guy looks like he eat people. You know what I mean?
You would hope that murdering a woman and then eating her would be enough to get you
I was right. I was right.
locked up for the rest of your life. Well, you'd be wrong. On June 11th, 1981, Issei Sagwa, a wealthy Japanese student who was studying in Paris, invited classmate Renee Harteveld, a Dutch woman, to dinner, under the pretext of translating poetry for a school assignment. She had no idea that what he really wanted to do was kill and eat her. After Renee arrived, she began reading poetry at a desk with her back to Sagwa when he shot her in the neck with a rifle.
Whoa.
He claims he passed out at the shock of killing her, but when he woke up, he sexually assaulted her corpse and tried to eat her,
Damn.
but soon realized his teeth were not sharp enough. So he left his apartment to purchase a knife. Sagwa then consumed various parts of Renee's body. Some bits he cooked, and other bits he ate raw.
Oh my.
When he was full, he saved pieces in the fridge to consume later, and also took photographs at various stages during the eating.
Oh.
Sagwa then attempted to dump the remains in a lake, carrying Renee's dismembered body parts in 2 suitcases, but he was caught in the act and arrested by French police 4 days later.
Damn.
His wealthy father paid for a top lawyer, and after being held in Paris for...
And his dad paid for a top lawyer even after he'd done this fuckery. Wow. Wow.
2 years, he was found legally insane and unfit to stand trial, and so was held in a mental institution in France. But
That's
rather than
unbelievable.
accept treatment, he did media interviews. A book was published about his life and his cannibalistic urges, and he became a macabre celebrity figure. Understandably, French authorities were concerned about this, and Sagwa was deported back to Japan.
Wow.
However, as the charges against him in France had been dropped, the French court documents were sealed and were not released to Japanese authorities.
Wait, time out. So, because his dad paid a good lawyer, then they said he got mental issues. So you telling me he got away with this fuckery?
Consequently, Sagwa could not legally be detained in Japan. On August 12, 1986, he checked himself out of the hospital and has remained free to this day.
Wow.
Over the years, he has given graphic interviews about eating human flesh and has claimed that his obsession began when he was just a child. Unbelievably, once back in Japan, he was frequently invited to be a guest speaker and commenter and worked on several books and adaptations of his life, becoming a minor celebrity. Thankfully, this has all stopped, and Sagwa can no longer find publishers for his writing. He has rightfully so struggled to find employment, although he gave this interview to Vice magazine in 2011.
小さなタオルを持って行ってきて血を頭の下に敷いてそれから服を脱がすんですけど自分の書いたシナリオずっと前からそういうシチュエーションを考えてどっから食べるどうやってやる全てこう頭の中にシナリオができてた中で書いていてまずお尻
Today, Sagwa lives alone and needs daily assistance after suffering a cerebral infarction. What is so unbelievable is that he has been a free man for nearly 40 years after he committed a crime that you would think would only happen in a movie.
That's what money can do, eh?
Thomas Whitaker, known as Bart. Kent and Tricia Whitaker lived in a smart house in Sugar Land, Texas. Their home and social life seemed near perfect, and their sons Bart and Kevin had all the privilege of being born into a wealthy family. Kent and Tricia were loving parents and enjoyed time with their sons, and Bart and Kevin had a close relationship.
It looked like
However, tragedy struck
rich
on December
white
10th,
people
2003,
with money.
after the Whitakers returned from a dinner to celebrate Bart's completion of his final exams. As they walked in their house, an unknown gunman shot all 4 of them.
Oh,
Tricia and Kevin sustained fatal chest wounds, and Kent and Bart were also shot. Kent sustained severe injuries to his upper body and clung to life, and Bart had a bullet wound to his arm. Thankfully, they both survived. Bart made this harrowing 911 call immediately after the shooting.
911.
Someone has just shot another.
Who's been shot?
Tricia and Kent.
Who shot them?
We don't know. Someone in the mask.
What kind of injuries do they have?
I don't know. They've just been shot.
Hang on just a second. We've got them calling on another line. Sugarland 911, station emergency.
I've been shot.
Who's been shot?
It's my mom and my dad and my brother.
Hold on 1 second, sir. Engine 1, all we have 1 subject right now. Apparently the whole family's been shot. Stand by. Is this Tricia or Kent?
This is Bart, the son.
Okay, Bart, where is your wound?
In the arm, my shoulder. I think I can't read my arm.
Okay, who else has been shot in the house with you?
I can't see.
Who else was in the house with you?
We were walking in the house. My brother and my mom and my dad. Oh, God, I can't.
I need you to hang on, Bart. I've got help on the way, okay? Do you know who shot you?
how can they explain so much shit? Imagine you being in that position, you're getting shot. So who shot you? What part of the body? What place? Are you mad? If that happened, bro, imagine if I got shot in my arms and my chest, yeah. I'm on my phone. I'm struggling to even talk on the phone for a minute. And you explaining all of this bullshit. And I'm like, listen, track the fucking phone. Use GPS, track the phone, and get over here. You know what I mean?
No. Okay, your
Stupid.
neighbors were telling me that he had a mask on. Is that
Having
true?
a fucking bloom conversation. Like, who
I
had the time
think
for
it's
that shit?
dark in here.
When the police arrived, they found a gun that was registered to Kevin, and damage to the gun safe in the home indicated it had been pried open and used in the shooting. In the aftermath of the shooting, Bart expressed his gratitude to the EMTs who saved his father's life. But as police and the media began looking into the family, it was discovered that unbeknown to his parents, Bart never finished college.
Oh.
He had transferred from Baylor University in Waco to Sam Houston State University, where he rarely attended and blew his tuition funds on himself.
Damn.
It also transpired that Bart was not quite the model son. He had a prior arrest for breaking into his high school and stealing computers. But perhaps the most shocking revelation of all came from Adam Hipp, one of Bart's friends, who came forward 5 days after the murders and told police that Bart had tried to enlist him to shoot his parents 2 years earlier, and that Kent and Tricia knew about the plot but didn't take it seriously.
Whoa. That
As you
took
can
a serious
imagine,
turn.
this opened up a whole new line of inquiry.
Oh, yeah.
Was the seemingly loving son from the seemingly perfect family responsible for murdering his mother and brother and seriously injuring his father?
Damn.
The police next focused on two of Bart's co-workers from the Brentwater Yacht and Country Club near Lake Conroe, Chris and Stephen. Both denied any involvement in the murders and provided DNA samples and scent test specimens. But the police were closing in, and in the summer of 2004...
The thing I don't get, what's going through your head, yeah? You planning to kill your family. Like, knowing that you're born on a rich family with money, you know what I mean? Plus they pay for your education to go to university to have a good future. And you telling me you was at home for a year planning how to murder your own family. Something is very wrong with you, mate. You need to stay in jail for the rest of
Bart
your
had a
life.
tip-off that the police were about to arrest him. So with the help of a friend, Bart fled to Mexico, where he lived under a false name.
Wow.
He settled
got
in
a
the town
plan.
of Cerralvo, where he soon found a girlfriend and got a job at a furniture store owned by her family. He told a string of lies
Clever
whilst
that.
living there, saying he sustained the bullet wound to his arm while fighting in Afghanistan,
Wow.
and that his mother was a prostitute, and he had no
Whoa.
contact with the rest of his family. A year and a half after the shooting, Stephen finally admitted
That's really
that Bart
clever.
hired him and Chris to help kill his family, after Bart had promised to cut both of them in on a $1 million life insurance payout he would receive after his family's death. The police offered a
So he did it for the
$10,000
money?
reward to anyone who had information on Bart's whereabouts. For the friend who helped Bart flee to Mexico, the money was too much to resist, and he ratted on his former friend. Bart was soon hauled back to the US by the authorities, and him and his two accomplices were indicted for the murder of Tricia and Kevin Whitaker and attempted murder of Kent. All three were convicted. Chris received life with the possibility of parole after 30
Yeah.
years. Steve got 15 years in exchange for testifying against Chris and Bart,
Yeah.
and Bart was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
Yeah.
However, in a remarkable gesture of forgiveness, Bart's father asked that his son be spared the death penalty, and he spent the next 10 years trying to save his son from the gurney and syringe. Due to his efforts,
And
in
his dad forgive him?
February 2018,
Whoa.
after spending years on death row, Bart's sentence was commuted to life in prison with no chance of parole.
Yes, sir.
Over the years, both Bart and his father have given interviews, and it was revealed that Bart had been plotting to kill his family for several years. It wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment thing. The question is why?
I can go back and tell you why I felt so inadequate and why I felt that my parents didn't love me. And I recognize so many of the errors now. There's a difference between an excuse and a reason, and I don't try to make excuses for what I did. I try to... You can't. You can't make an excuse for this, but yeah, there were things that happened that were reasons for it.
From what we hear from friends of the family and so on, you seem like you had very loving parents who really gave you a lot. Is there something that we just don't know?
Well, even from a very young age, I believed that what my parents loved was an idealized version of me, and that I kept telling myself if I worked really hard and I succeeded, that I would be that person. But I knew in my heart that I wasn't that person, and I felt like if they knew who I really was, that affection would dry up. And you can only go through that for so long before you start to bear a grudge against the people you think have set that high standard.
Did you?
Wait, so time out. So how I'm seeing the situation that he didn't have, all of his family have an honest communication. You know, I've seen, obviously your parents want you to have a better future, so they got everything planned for you. It's understandable. But the thing I'm realizing here, that it wasn't not enough honesty in the family. You know what I'm trying to say? But if the family was honest, since he was a little kid, to express how he feels about himself, it'd be a different situation. So how I'm seeing the situation, that obviously family didn't have, you know what I mean, they didn't talk honest about the situation, about how he felt personally. So you have all the anger on him. That's how I'm seeing the situation. I'm not saying it's right to kill the family. I'm just saying, if I was on his shoes, you know what I'm trying to say.
Love your family?
Was
Did
probably
you love
thinking.
your brother Kevin?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I might be wrong. I don't know.
He had so many of the qualities that I tried so hard for over the years. You know, people just loved him always.
So you loved them, but you also hated them at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, we humans are kind of messy like that sometimes.
There was no abuse or trauma in his life. Quite the opposite. His parents were kind, generous, and loving. The only reason Bart could give was he felt he didn't live up to his parents' expectations.
That's what I'm saying.
And harbored jealousy for his brother. This doesn't seem like a good reason to want to annihilate your entire family.
Exactly.
But maybe Bart is one of those rare sociopaths who was born rather than made.
Yeah.
Bart currently resides in the McConnell unit in Beeville, Texas, in solitary confinement.
Good.
He still gets regular visits from his father.
Mad. Anyways, guys, I want to leave it right here because I don't want to make this video so freaking long. It's over 20 minutes. I hope you like it, enjoy it, and if you want me to do more videos like this, let me know. But I'm out.